Hey, well, welcome back to the ARC Path.
My name is Bernard,
And I'm Casey.
and we are tackling community today.
When you say tackling, my first thought is like football, and then I go to real football because we're both soccer fanatics. And I love the tackle mentality, which means I didn't actually have to touch you. I just took the ball from you.
Well, that's not how I played soccer. Yeah, I could have taken the ball, but it's more fun to touch you as I'm taking the ball
Oh,
from you.
so it highlights our structure. See, as a defensive player, if I have to take you out, it means that I got beat. But if
Okay.
I can take the ball from you, it means I beat you.
Oh, amen, amen. Well,
But you didn't play defense, did you?
I did, but midfield was where I excelled, and I loved, when 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 the coach thought I was good enough, he put me forward,
Oh,
and so that's a whole other podcast
that's a
slash
whole other podcast.
therapy session. What do you mean I can't play forward?
Oh, the journey and recognizing just as we jump into this, a spontaneous celebration for Bernard and I to reflect upon our years of greatness.
Oh yes.
And yet where we're going today is that our years of greatness are ahead of us.
Mm,
And there's something nostalgia about reflecting on our youth, the vigor, the strength, the enjoyment of conquering the game.
mm.
And that really is where we want to bring into community because we recognize when we do that together with others as a team, there's something even more powerful about it.
I love that. But again, I want to go back to the word tackle. There is something about tackling your community, and there is something about being tackled
Mm.
by your community.
What I pause on that is just think about there's power in proximity. And so to be tackled is to be in a proximity of choice,
Yes.
and recognizing that we're in the game, we're playing, and we're going to be tackled
Yes.
because we choose our proximity to be a place of influence and impact.
Hmm. Um, let's bring awareness then into it.
Go for it.
I think what you said is again, I choose to be in community. I choose to be in proximity with others, and that's community.
Mm-hmm.
Now the conversation is power.
Yes.
Put a question mark.
Okay.
Do I feel? Do I know that I have power? Do I have that awareness that there's power in being with others in community, and that power can work with me, for me, against me,
Mm.
and but it's going to move me, and
Yes.
it's going to move us.
Yeah.
That power is going to move us one way or another, one direction
Mm.
or another.
So we've been talking about community. We've been talking about power, tackling. Let's pause that and let's go somewhere totally different.
Ooh.
Um, and this always fascinates me to hear your story, your perspective on it. How did you find the comics, and where was it that you fell in love with the heroes of the comics?
Wow, that's a great question. I think they found me.
Okay.
I don't recall me finding them. I do remember that they they there must have been a need in my life. Again, I grew up in Lebanon and
Mm-hmm.
Civil War,
Mm-hmm.
and the heroes of that era were warriors, and and then moving to the States, there were no heroes. There was no warriors.
Mm.
All there was again, you don't speak the language. I was young, and culture shock. I mean, there's a whole lot of stuff going on, and there was a lack of heroism in my life.
Mm.
And then they found me.
So somehow you must have missed the He-Man episodes. So you don't even know. I love that.
I,
Look,
well, He-Man came later.
oh, that's right. You're older than me. That's right. And I bring that up because somehow the comics never found me.
Mm,
The closest thing I had to comic strips or books was Mad Magazine, unfortunately.
Doesn't count.
No, that's I added the unfortunately right in there.
It doesn't count.
It doesn't count at all. It's actually embarrassing, but that's the closest thing I had to
No.
the comic strips. But it created a different world for me.
Yes.
It created the G.I. Joe and He-Man were my heroes.
Yes.
And yet you had Marvel.
Yes. Yes. Powerful. I think both DC and Marvel. I mean, at
Mhm.
the time, Superman was one of my probably all-time favorites growing up, and
It was the first movie I ever saw.
oh, really?
Yes,
Yes.
I very young, but I remember jujubes. These are old memories. Those things
Yes.
don't even exist anymore. I
Yeah.
hope. But I ate jujubes and watched Superman. Very
Wow.
young.
Very young. Yeah. It was just it 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 was a niche that needed filling in my life, and
Mm-hmm.
boy, did it fill it.
Mm.
I had later would come to learn that I had a very powerful imagination.
Mm.
In school, the teachers would call me out, daydreaming. In a span of 15 to 20 minutes, my mind can create a Sim City reality
Yeah.
instantaneously.
Yeah.
I thought you don't know, you're inside of yourself. It was normal, but the power of my imagination was amazing. But bringing the concept of heroes, it really brought um, it fueled it. I don't know.
Mm.
That's what I'm trying to say is we need that hero fuel to fuel our imagination. I'm
Yeah.
jumping to the
Yeah.
end.
You're jumping. I
I
love
don't know
it.
how to get there.
No, and well, we know where we're going today. There is a hero in every community.
Yes.
There's also a villain in every community.
That's so
I
true.
mean, and where we're going today is tackling community,
Yes.
and knowing who are the heroes, who are the villains, and how does this show up in your community. And then the end point that we're going to is,
Yes.
who are you going to choose to be? Who are
Yes.
you going to choose to be? And on an ARC path, we recognize that you are the hero of your story. If you're not the hero of your story, you're living out somebody else's story. And what an unfortunate reality is that you're just a supporting cast.
Yes.
But we've been invited to actually be the main character in our story, in our movie, in our experience. And so as Bernard and I reflect back on where we encountered heroes and legends and other individuals that inspired us to reach for more, we want to bring that to community. We're bringing it to you today. Thank you for being a part of our community. Are we the hero in your community?
Mm.
And if so, that's okay. We're happy to be the hero in your community, but I want you to now become the hero of your story. And that's where we're really launching this
Yes.
today and
Yes.
recognizing that that's a choice and an opportunity for us all.
Yeah. I love the concept main character. I, I I I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that. I think the as because at first I was excited about the topic because we see each other as I mean, nobody sees themselves as a villain, but I know, again, having worked with so many people, I think from an employer perspective,
Mm-hmm.
I know I've been the villain in many people's story, and but never once in my life did I think I was a villain. And so in my own story, in a sense, so there was always this concept of hero villain that in this last decade of my life I had
Mm-hmm.
awareness of. But to bring the concept of main character,
Mm-hmm.
I think that, that gosh, that's even more tragic to think you're not even a villain. You're just I mean, imagine visualizing. I mean, visualizing yourself as just you're not even in that top cast. You're in that supporting cast only
Yeah.
role in your own story or others people's story. I think I mean, that shifts the whole podcast for me. I mean, like that's a horrible reality. I don't know. You hit me with that. I'm like, wait a minute. Imagine visualize.
Imagine just being the support or the cast and crew, and what a privilege it is for many people in their career to get on
Correct.
to be a part of the cast,
Correct.
but to never become the main character in the story.
Well, I mean, especially in your own story. I
Yes.
mean, that's a. I mean, I don't even know. I'm gonna have to go back and process that a bit as well. Just the realization that we could be living life
Hmm.
as just in our own story as a support staff. I think that's
So
something.
let me engage that through an arc mentality. How do you become the main character, actor, actress in your story? The reality is, it's very simple. You acknowledge.
Mm,
It's where we all begin on the arc path. We just acknowledge that I am in a story,
yeah,
and there's a story going on. And then what we must do is we must move it into action. There's always action, even if it's drama, even if it's comedy. There's action
yeah,
in the movie that plays it out in the story,
yeah,
or it'd be really going nowhere and boring. The action along the arc path is healing and restoration, and what healing and restoration confronts is the problem.
yes,
And so, do you want to be the main actor, the lead supporting role in your story? You have to confront the
yeah,
problem.
mm,
You have to acknowledge it, and then not let it determine who you are.
mm,
If the lead actor faces the problem and goes, "Well, I'm done.
yeah,
This is it," well, there's no movie.
yeah,
But what makes that lead character the lead character is often the hardship and the struggle define them at some point. Then the story comes alive as they overcome.
mm,
And the arc path is about overcoming to step into the victory of the kingdom reality through the process of action because you acknowledged.
yeah. And I love, I mean, I love how you made it practical and tangible. And tangible means that you can reach for it today.
Hmm.
What I love about the arc path is different than anything else that I've seen out there. It's a moment by moment, day by day engagement.
Yeah.
It's not one of those things, if you've ever been to some sort of convention or weekend seminar or whatever it is, it's like it's like you're overloaded with information, energy, and excitement, all that, and then as soon as you leave, it just dissipates over time, and you go, wait a minute, what happened? I was on such a high and I'm on such a low. And the arc path is different.
Hmm.
The it just it's a continuous engagement. It's for today, it's for this moment, and it's something that I can reach for, and I do reach for it every day. And what's beautiful about it as well is it's easy to give away.
Amen. And it's easy to give away because it's very personal to me. If something's not personal, it's harder to give away.
Yes.
But if I have an encounter with it, it's very easy to share with my encounter. But as it's personal to me, it's also universal to humanity.
Mm,
That we are being confronted with challenges, obstacles, and circumstances that are either going to define us or they're going to guide us to our destiny.
yeah.
And the hero is never defeated in the challenge, not the ultimate challenge.
Yes.
But there's another concept I'd bring in here about the hero or the main character. Somewhere along the story, we find their weakness. We find the soft spot. We find the place that it's just not that they have a vulnerability. I mean, Superman's the most famous of superheroes that has a weakness. It is.
Kryptonite.
Oh, there you go.
Come on.
I'm just checking. And must there be kryptonite? It's because we have to identify with the story.
Yeah.
And if Superman doesn't have kryptonite, well, then it's a boring story. Then what can ever
Yes.
happen?
Yes.
But somehow somebody as a villain always seems to find that rare gem
I can't.
source that.
I gotta find that kryptonite.
Yeah, where is
I
it?
can make a piece of jewelry out of it.
And yet you have a weakness.
Yes.
Is it kryptonite?
No,
No.
it's called Claudia.
We may have to edit that. We may. We'll check and see if Claudia is listening to the podcast. We all have a weakness. I have a weakness.
Yes.
And as I acknowledge it,
Yeah.
if Superman lives in denial of kryptonite and says, well, no, it doesn't exist, then somebody will take him out. But as soon as it's acknowledged, then there's opportunity to heal.
Yes.
There is the choice to restore. There is this element of kingdom that says, I have to find the place to reset.
Yes. And just again, I want to go back to what differentiates the arc path is I don't think it's as Superman had one weakness. Sadly, that's not us.
That's super.
That's super. I mean, our weaknesses get unveiled every day, and what an opportunity to
Hmm.
overcome those weaknesses every day. It's one at a time, and you go, but I keep getting triggered.
Yeah.
Great. You know what? Let's work through that.
Yeah.
Let
And I'm going to interrupt because I'm going back to Claudia. And I'm going to bring in Angela.
Great.
Yeah, you don't know where I'm going. This is good. It's the reason why it's humorous. Just up. It's my wife, because our wives know our true weakness.
Yes.
And unlike probably anybody else, they have the proximity, go back to tackle,
Yes.
to call us out when we are operating from our weakness,
Weakness.
when we
Yeah.
are in the imposter mode,
Yeah.
when we are recognizing, oh, I've become the villain,
Yes.
because your very strength can become your liability when it's not used properly.
Yeah. So true. So true.
Thank
And
you. Thank you to our wives. We
yes.
don't have to edit it out now.
Well, again, it's fun when you recognize the pattern. I think, and I want to use the word fun because our story is fun.
Mm.
When you're in the middle of a challenge, and the my life challenges are, I mean, crazy. It's not to make fun or light of anybody's challenges, and especially my own,
Hmm.
but every time you're on the other side of it, you look back and go, "Wow, look what I did."
Yeah.
I think it is fun to overcome. It's just a lot of it when while we're going through it, man, it's not fun.
Well, I wish I had your challenges because I think I could solve yours. And you probably look at my challenge and goes, "Oh, I'd love to
Bring
have
it on,
yours."
bring it on.
We all have our own challenges, our own obstacles to overcome, and that's
Yes.
why the weakness is not a secret. And the more that we live honestly and open about those things, the more we're on the arc path, recognizing that
Yeah.
if I don't acknowledge where my weakness is, then there's never an embrace of healing. And if there's never an embrace of healing, well, then I'm not moving down the path. And,
Mm.
and the goal is to discover who we are so that the best version of ourselves comes out. And we often discover that best version by overcoming,
Mm.
by recognizing, hey, I need to partner with so and so. Hey, I need to learn this through the hardship. Wow, if when I overcame that challenge, I really discovered this about myself.
Love that. And
Welcome to the journey.
I think you brought it home in terms of, it's a community of heroes. I think it's the beauty. Go back to where we started this.
Mm.
When we go into a community, what is our perspective? Am I showing up? I perceive my brothers and sisters that I'm gonna be in community with as heroes,
Hmm.
and is this a call of the heroes? Are we gonna journey through life together? And then if one of our and sisters is not well, hey, good luck out there. Let us know how it goes. Let me know if I can help.
Yeah.
I think that's more common in our day-to-day conversations. Look like, and it sounds like this. I hope you feel better. I hope things get better. I hope things work out. And there's nothing wrong with those words. I think it's the intentionality of there's nothing I can do to help you, so you're on your own, and I see that time and time again that as we engage with each other, and the paradigm shift is, hey, heroes show up, they support each other, they
Hmm.
fight with each other, and they help each other get to the other side of it.
And if they have just that wishful good tiding, um, they'll never become known.
Mm,
They get left behind.
mm,
Every community has heroes and villains. The heroes are the ones who are showing up and making a difference.
yes.
We invite you to show up
Mm,
and make a difference. Who are the villains? Well, you know what? In ARC language, they're just people living below the line, and they're pointing out the problems that aren't their problems. This is your problem. This
yeah.
is your issue. This is
Yeah.
what's wrong with this place.
Yes.
That's a villain. That's somebody who's pointing out and saying, "Let me tell you all the reasons why this will never work." They're the naysayers. They're the challenges that we just endure. And we're inviting you to recognize that if you've been playing the villain, you've been in the movie, you've been in the role, but unfortunately, you're not going to become the hero of the story as the villain. Take a deep breath. and recognize. You can actually choose to become the one that people are going to cheer on.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. My only thing I would shift is if you think you're the hero, telling other people what's going on in their world,
You're the villain.
you're the villain.
Yeah, that's
I know you said if you're the hero, and I want to, if you're the villain, and nobody sees themselves as a villain. And have I ever played the role of the villain? Yes, but not intentionally, not in my own
mm-hmm.
mind. I will deny it, deny it, deny it, and at the end of the day, it's the outcome. It's the outcome. So, and I think that's what the arc path is. As the invitation is, show up to the arc path, and what you're gonna find is a community of people that understand this language.
Yeah.
And then that language leads to a mindset. Mindset leads to lifestyle change, and then it leads into a strengthened community.
Yep.
And that's what we have to own. We have to own our communities. And if you don't like your community, then begin a self-reflection. You might need to change your community.
Yeah.
Not saying no, but there's a self-reflection. What role do I play in that community? Am I the enabler? Am I the list of stuff that
A whole bunch of things we could rattle
yes,
off. Yeah.
yes. But love this topic. I hope we didn't get tackled. I hope we didn't tackle you. We go back to where we started. Is community is about a fun game of life, but it is about a bunch of heroes getting together to overcome life together.
Yeah.
Community. If we don't have that mindset, we're not really in community. Yes.
So how do you develop your community and move this forward today? We want to just give you a couple quick practical tips to say, okay, what can I do to become that hero in this community? We've already given one of them, show up.
Yeah.
Show up and greet people and meet who's in your community.
Mm.
You may get tackled. That was where we started this whole thing, but that means you're in the game.
Yeah.
Get out of the seats, up in the cheap seats, and get down on the arena floor. Get on the field and play. That's number one. So get in the game, show up. The second one I'll give you is learn a new skill. Get in there and discover what it is that you've been waiting to know. If Bernard and I can get a ball at our feet and go dribble in a heartbeat, we're a little older, we're a little slower, but we still think we're amazing. Why?
Right.
Because we know what it's like to feel amazing. And I want to invite you, go get a new skill and do it until you feel amazing. Struggle through it, push on, and discover you have a contribution. And the third thing I can just give you this is find a friend. Find somebody and invite them to go with you. This is how you can build your community. You can become the hero. You will eventually say, I'm a legend. Is that egotistical? Is that too much? No, it just means I've made enough impact over and over and over again that it's going to be remembered.
Yes.
So welcome to community today. Welcome to becoming your hero and a legend in your right.
Love that. Well, what a celebration. Well, those are great tips. Go back and watch this again, re-listen to it, celebrate it. And it's so easy. You want to be my friend. We want you to be our friend. We're asking you to be our friend. It is that easy. And we don't have to be best friends. We don't have to be best friends from today, but let's be friends and let's see where this relationship goes.
We'll see you again soon, friend.
Take care, guys.